Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going today, guys? I wanted to get on here and make this video today to talk about day 9 of training camp, which I was actually out there again today. I was out there last Friday. I was out there today, and I will be out there again tomorrow. Um, Tomorrow's not going to be much of a practice. They're going to be doing a lot more scrimmage. All this and that. So it should be a fun day. And then from tomorrow we got 8 days until the first preseason game, and I think that's where after that game, I think we're going to hear who the starter is going to be of this team, and I'm going to dive into that and my opinions and thoughts on who I think the starter is going to be. So here we go. So today I was out there, and of course, Zach Wilson hasn't really had his chance with the ones. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100% sure he's done. Like, he's not going to be the starter. There's no road for him to become the starter for the Broncos. He had plenty of time to prove it this first week in training camp, and he couldn't do it. Um, Now, are the Broncos going to hang on to him? That's a completely different story. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe Sean wants to hang on to him, practice squad, but I don't even think he's going to make the quarterback 2 spot. I think that's going to be Jarrett Stidham. So, and with that said, I'm believing Bo Nix is going to be the starter. I've been saying this for the last week. It is Bo Nix's job to lose. Sean Payton didn't draft him 12th overall, to sit on the bench. Like, I can understand if Bo Nix was, not that far along. He needed some time to develop, but over these last like 3-4 days, he has shown that he doesn't really need to sit on the bench at all. He is stacking days. I think, what is today, Friday? I think out of 5 days this week, Bo Nix has ran with the ones 3 times. 3 times. And one of those days that Jarrett Stidham ran with the ones, which was yesterday, they weren't even in pads. They went back to, not having pads on. And to me, that says something. Jarrett Stidham, yeah, he's consistent. He's always, he's a check down artist. Like, yeah, sometimes he'll throw the ball down the field, but the majority of the time he's going to take the drag route, the slant route, take the pass into the flat. He's not really one to push the ball down the field. And today, like, to me, Bo Nix sealed the number one job today, 100%. Like, in my mind, there's no, like, unless Bo Nix comes out in the preseason game against the Colts next Sunday, and I mean, he just falls flat. I mean, he could be, I'm not going to say bad, but he could be in the preseason game. He's still not going to lose the job. Bo Nix literally has to come out and be terrible to lose this job. After the practice I saw today, like, I've been paying attention to the practices over the last 5 days. Bo Nix, after Monday, Bo Nix just started stacking days. Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, he started stacking the days. Today, he sealed it for me. Like, there is no way Sean Payton, like I said, other than Bo Nix falling flat on his face in the preseason game, that Sean can't sit there and be like, yeah, this guy's our starter. Like, he had a nice completion to Josh Reynolds. Yes, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Josh Reynolds is wide open. Okay, so ain't that what we complained about Russ last year? Like, yes, he was screaming open, like no one was around him. But we were like just cursing Russ. We were just face palming because Russ wouldn't step up in the pocket. He would look at his first read. If it wasn't there, he'd look at the check down. If it wasn't there, he would scramble. And you could see the guy coming open across the middle of the field, and rushers would never throw to him. Bo Nix, like, yeah, Josh Reynolds was wide open, but guess what? Bo Nix hit him. Russell Wilson never would have done that. He wouldn't even have seen Josh Reynolds that open. He would have looked at the, probably his first read, which probably been like a freaking drag or an out route or something, and then looked at the check down. Neither one of those there, he takes off. Josh Reynolds was screaming across the middle, wide open. Russell Wilson never would have saw that. So the fact, I know a lot of people are saying, well, he was wide open. I don't care. Bo Nix saw him. That's more than I can say for Russ, and he hit him in stride. But the big play, the one that really, really sealed it for me for, Bo Nix 100% being QB1. Like, Stidham doesn't even stand a chance anymore. He's completely separated himself from Stidham from this one play, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, the constant days and stacking good days for Bo Nix really helped, but this play today just sealed it for me. There was a pass, I think it was like 20, 25 yards downfield. Bo Nix delivers a strike over the middle to Cortland Sutton with Surtain just draped on him. I remember watching that play. I actually got, a video of it on my phone. You see Cortland Sutton, like he had like a tiny window, like probably about this big of a window Nix had to fit that ball into Cortland Sutton over the middle with Surtain on him. And Bo Nix rocketed in there and Sutton made the catch. That's it. That's all I needed to see. Because everything else we've talked about, like what young rookie quarterbacks have a hard time doing. Like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson probably could have fit that ball in there. I understand that. Like he's got the arm talent, just like some of these other guys. Even Drew Lock, he had like the arm strength and talent to fit that ball in windows like that. But the difference is with Bo Nix is you could see him, and it is true. You hear it, you've heard it from the reporters all day. Bo Nix checked out of 2 plays into run plays, and each one of them got a big gain. That's something Drew Lock never did. That's something Russell Wilson never did. That's something Zach Wilson can't do. Or I should say Zach Wilson, Drew Lock, and Russell Wilson couldn't do that kind of stuff. He's up there. He's checking at the line. He sees something, whether if it's a blitzer or something on the defense. He's like, no, I know this route that, the first route on this play is not going to be open because I see this, whatever. And he checks into a run and bam, right up the middle. And the one play where he identified McMillan coming off the edge as a blitzer, literally picked it up, slid the line over, boom, he hits a freaking perfect pass over the middle. I can't remember who it was too. I think it was either Mims or Franklin. I can't remember off the top of my head. But all that, just him seeing and he's reading the defense. He reads the defense during the play, and he's reading the defense pre-snap. Bo Nix knows what he's doing. He looks like a veteran out there. He looks like more of a veteran than freaking Jarrett Stidham. Like, yes, I understand Stidham hasn't been in the league that long. I think it's like 2, 3, maybe 4 years he's been in the league. He's been in the system for a year. And I'm not saying Stidham can't do that because he can, but the fact that Bo Nix is a rookie and he's able to do that, he's younger, he's your future. Stidham's not. He's got more emphasis to push the ball downfield. He's got more guts to do that. This to me right now, after that play today, like I know I'm a fan. I'm not Sean Payton, but the kid's got it between here. He can read a defense pre-snap, during the play. He can read the defense. He knows what they're going to do. He can check out of plays. He knows what to do. Sean Payton ain't got to repeat himself whenever he puts a play call into Bo Nix's helmet and be like, this is what we're going to run. Bo Nix ain't going to be sitting there like, oh, I'm confused like Russell Wilson was, or have to repeat it like he did with Zach Wilson this training camp so far. He gets it. You couple that with the plays he's been making. Like if he makes these kinds of plays, like I'm not worried about up here. Game, camp, I don't care. What's up here? Him reading the defense, pre-snap, post-snap, all that stuff. I'm not worried about during a game for Bo Nix. The only thing I'm worried about is him getting timing with his, and I've said this for the last couple of days. He needs to get timing. And he needs to get up to NFL speed. He needs to get that timing with his receivers, chemistry with his receivers, and get up to NFL speed. Once he does that, he's I can't say he's going to be like a top 10 quarterback because we need to see him actually play in a game, but he is a starter level quarterback in the NFL, 100%. Like he doesn't look like, you do see sometimes rookie moments, but it's very rare out of Bo Nix that you see that rookie, like you could tell like, oh, he made this mistake. That's a rookie move. But the majority of the time he looks like a freaking 3-4 year veteran out there. Like there's no way. Like a lot of people are talking like Sean kind of said this the other day that they're probably going to name a starter after the first preseason game, maybe the second preseason game. Honestly, if Bo Nix just, like I said, if he doesn't fall flat on his face in that first preseason game and he plays good, there's no way Sean Payton can let that go another week and be like, yeah, we're going to go in a week 2 or preseason game 2, and still have this competition going on. If Bo Nix comes out and plays good in that Colts game, what are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Just, name Bo Nix a starter and give him all the reps you possibly can. Like, I'm going to let it go through this week and next week because next week they're going to start game planning for the Colts. I know it's a preseason game, but they're going to kind of start going through that. Not really game plan, but, just kind of looking at the Colts and be like, okay, this is what they do. That's what they do, blah, 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 blah. maybe installing the game plan on defense and offense for that game. But it's like, if Bo Nix is good, hell, if he's even solid in that game, and this is my thing, if Bo Nix is just solid, like he's not, doing great like he has been in training camp, that's only going to tell me one thing, and I guarantee it'll show in the game that, oh, he missed the throw here, he missed the throw there because he ain't got the chemistry or the timing down with his receivers. Honestly, I'm really like, if he has another solid day tomorrow and then next week he has, he keeps stacking days, I'm going to say he's already up to NFL speed. He's fine with that. It's mostly going to be the timing and the chemistry thing is what he needs to work on. And the only way he's going to get that is by getting as most reps as possible with the first team. That's the only way. And after the first preseason game, like I said, Bo Nix is solid, good, whatever. Just name him the starter. Just end the competition, give Bo Nix the job, and let him start building that timing and chemistry with his players, because I feel like right now that's pretty much the only thing that's, maybe a little bit of an issue right now for Bo Nix, is that there was a couple of plays that he overthrew. I think he overthrew Mims, and he's been overthrowing Troy Franklin, a guy he has chemistry with, but I think they were both trying to get up to NFL speed. Like Sutton, Tim Patrick, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims, Greg Dulcich. Like, it seems like he has honestly, I think he's already got that chemistry with Greg Dulcich. I think he's got more of a chemistry with Greg Dulcich right now, Bo Nix, than he does with Troy Franklin. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but he's been hitting Dulcich like crazy. But I think that's what the Broncos need to do. After the preseason game, the first one, if Bo Nix is solid or good in that game, just name him the starter and give him all first-team reps. That way because you still got so many other battles. Like, Bo Nix has already proven that he is a capable starter in the NFL. He's got it between the ears. He's, starting to build chemistry. I think he needs a little bit more time with that, and giving him as much reps as possible is really going to help that, of course, because that's what it is. And just continue with the quarterback battle for the number 2 spot between Stidham and Zach Wilson, which I think Stidham's going to win that, honestly, because Zach Wilson just looks like, he's had a couple of good throws, but he's not the guy. Like, I don't even think he's a solid backup anymore, dude. He might be a practice squad guy, but then you focus on the running back position, the receiver position, the center position, the pass rushing position, the cornerback 2 position. Like, there's a lot of positions they're still having to, go through. But if you name Bo Nix the starter after the first preseason game because he plays good in that game, then you've already solidified the quarterback. He's already got the locker room. The players follow him. He's a great leader. He's got it between the ears. He's building that chemistry. Give him more reps with the first teamer so he can build that chemistry to 100% to where he's ready to go week 1. And here's the thing, like, a lot of coaches don't play their starters, especially their starting QB, the third preseason game. They usually don't do that. I can't remember last year Sean Payton played Russell Wilson, but honestly, last year was it was like a lame duck year, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what Sean Payton was thinking, but we did solid last year. Russ had a solid season, but if you give Bo Nix playing time in the first preseason game and he, shows that, like I said, he's good, just name him the starter after that game. Give him a few reps in the next preseason game, preseason game 2. And in the third preseason game, just let him sit and get him ready for week 1. But that was my takeaway from today. Bo Nix is, honestly, he separated himself from Stidham. Like, people say, oh, Stidham had another consistent day. Bo Nix is stacking days, which he's looking better. Like, it's obvious to anyone watching. Like, I go over Twitter, Facebook, people are like, yeah, Nix is the starter. Like, we all can see it. Like, yes, we're not coaches. We're not Sean Payton, but you can clearly see he's younger. He's the future. He's got it between the ears. He's got arm strength. Like, he can read a defense, pre and post snap. Like, he's perfect. He's exactly what you wanted. Like, honestly, I don't think this training camp so far could have went any better with a rookie quarterback. Like, I really don't think it could have went any better. Any team. Like, I'm sure the freaking Patriots are thinking, man, Bo Nix is looking good. I wish Drake May looked as good. Or even like Penix. Like, I don't know how he's looking. I haven't really heard much on him. But even JJ McCarthy, I heard, had a couple of rough, practices. Like, I'm not saying that these teams would want Bo Nix. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination, but they're probably looking at Bo Nix and Broncos training camp and we're like, man, I really wish, JJ was as far along as Bo with, how he has it between the ears, checking at the line of scrimmage pre and post snap, reading the defense. Like, I bet you, the Viking fans and Patriot fans wish that their quarterbacks were as far along as Bo Nix is. And to me, like, I still think it's an evaluation year. This is a year where you evaluate the young talent on the roster, even the veterans. Like, okay, this guy still has it, or this guy's lost a step. We're going to move on from this guy. We're going to keep this guy long term, and build for the future. And that's how I see this year. It's an evaluation year. Now, I do have the Broncos going 10-7 this year. And the way I had the NFL, the schedules and the, predictions, I got the Broncos going 10-7 and squeezing into the playoffs. Now, the Broncos can go 10-7 and still miss the playoffs. It just depends on how all the other teams play this year. Like, I did my predictions for every team throughout the entire season. And just the way I had it, set up, the Broncos were able to squeeze in at 10-7. But I mean, the Broncos could still go 10-7 and miss the playoffs. It just depends on what other teams do and how, if they win or lose or whatever. So at this point, I think the Broncos just need to name Nix the starter and just give him as many first team reps as possible. Get ready for that week 1 Seattle game. Like, and I'm sure Sean Payton, yeah, he's evaluating talent this year. There's no doubt about that. But I think he still wants to win. Yeah, he wants to evaluate the talent on the roster, but he still wants to win. And if you've watched training camp at all over since it's pretty much started, Bo Nix has separated himself from Jarrett Stidham. Within this last, pretty much since training camp started, he separated himself from Jarrett Stidham. And Sean Payton, if he I'm sure Sean Payton knows that the best chance for them to win is for Bo Nix to start, especially if he plays well in that first preseason game. Like, if he plays well and you see it, you can see him checking. And I don't even think they're going to be doing a lot of that in the preseason game. Like, preseason games are mostly just to get your players up to NFL speed, get them, live game reps, to get them ready for the regular season. So it's a very, vanilla play calling type of situation. So they're not going to be doing all this crazy check, checking out of a pass play to a run play or run play to a pass play. They're not be calling all their plays. They're going to be very vanilla. But even with that, Bo Nix just shows he's progressing forward. He doesn't even have to have any touchdowns. If he's just taking care of the ball, like, we know Bo Nix in the first preseason game, he's probably going to maybe play a series, 2, maybe 3, at the most. He'll play probably 3 series. And, he might not get touchdowns, but as long as you can see, hey, he's hitting these receivers in stride, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's taking care of the ball, whatever, then he's had a solid game. He's had a good game. Because it's not all about just touchdowns in preseason. The score doesn't matter in preseason. Preseason games are mostly just to see what your young guys can do, what the rest of your roster can do, and kind of get them acclimated back into NFL game, live game action. So, like I said, as long as Bo Nix, is not creating turnovers in the preseason games, he's taking care of the ball, he's doing the right thing, he's hitting the players that he needs to hit in stride, because like I said, the other team, they're trying to see what they got too. The players are playing hard. See, that's the thing. For the coaches, preseason games don't matter. Like, the score, the record, they don't matter. It's mostly just about evaluating the talent, seeing who's going to make the 53. But for players, it does matter. So they're going to go out there and put their heart and soul into that game. And they're going to play hard. But like I said, the play calling on defense and offense on both teams are going to be very vanilla, because none of these teams are going to want to, show their hand, show what kind of defense they're going to run, what their plays are offensively. So as long as Bo Nix has an average, good, solid game, he should be named the starter after the first preseason game and just go into preseason week 2, give him a few series, let him build that chemistry and timing with his receivers, and then just sitting the third preseason game and get ready for Seattle week 1 with Bo Nix as the starter. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did any of you guys go to training camp today? Did you guys see the videos? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe on this video, and I will talk to you guys Sunday night on Colorado Sports Connection at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So I will talk to you guys then, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.